Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Gaming Remaster 27. And today we have another S.H.Figuarts review. We're going to take a look at Krillin, Earth's Strongest Man. This figure I've had for a while, but I haven't had a chance to review it with all the new figures coming out. So I figured it's a good time to review this figure. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what this one's all about. Now, let's go ahead and break the seal. I definitely feel like Krillin's an underrated character in the show. So I'm really glad that they made this figure. As you can see, he comes with quite a bit of accessories. This figure is about $50. You can get it for about 52 bucks right now on Amazon. When I got it a little while ago, it was running for about 56 to 60. But it comes with 4 head sculpts. You got his more serious yelling face, a gritting teeth face where he's kind of looking off to the side. You got a neutral face, and then kind of like his scared cartoonish face. You get a bag of senzu beans, 5 sets of hands, and 1 Destructo-Disc effect piece. Personally, I wish they would have done 2, but 1's pretty good. Now, this would go really good if you're trying to do like the Cell Saga. Like I got the Piccolo, I got First Form Cell, I got Gohan, Teen Gohan, the new one, and Goku Full Power, both Trunkses and Vegeta. So I pretty much have it all except Tien and Yamcha to recreate and of course a Perfect Cell to recreate the Cell games lineup. I'm getting pretty close to having all of them. So he's not a very tall figure, which is, you know, what I would expect. Take these out. So that's all the accessories that he comes with, guys. It's pretty sweet. And I believe this is on a 3.0 body. So let's check out his articulation. You got the double jointed knees. So they bend pretty well. They feel solid. You got some boot articulation or toe articulation. I do like the colors they went with there with the blue accents. And you can get his legs, do a full split. And it goes up about that high for kicking in the air. And then you can't really get him to go back. You can't really get him to go back a whole lot. And for the wrist, it looks like it's just a standard pivot. You can get it. And you can get him in a full T pose. Of course, you can get him to go up the whole way. And bring him in to do a driving pose. So pretty much, you know, whatever you're going for, this figure is going to have you covered. Kind of get him squared up there. He's definitely a very good supporting character to have with your other S.H.Figuarts if you're trying to complete the line. As far as like ab crunch, he has pretty decent. And then you can do a little side to side action. And got your thigh swivel, so you can pose the legs. And the only thing I'm noticing is like the orange here doesn't quite match. It's like more vibrant here and it's kind of faded up top. So I don't know if that's gonna bother anybody. I mean, to me it's noticeable. It's kind of like a burnt orange down here is what I would describe it as. It's like a darker orange, and then this is kind of like a faded orange. For me, it doesn't really bother me a whole lot. And then, of course, his head, you can get it to go full 360. He can look down the whole way, but he doesn't really look up. Doesn't really bend back to look up a lot. So I would say for articulation, this figure's really good for being a small figure. I'd say probably an 8 out of 10. And of course you can, you know, move his belt around. I mean, his shoulders does seem stiff, but I think it's because they did as a two-piece, kind of, how they have the blue underneath, and then it just seems like they're a little stiff, but you can definitely get them to move. It's not an issue. It's just not as easy as you would expect. So yeah, for articulation, I'd give him an 8 out of 10. Let's take a look at a height comparison and take a look at some of the accessories. We'll swap some stuff out and be right back. Alright guys, we're back. We switched out his hands, gave him his Destructo Disc effect, and switched out the faceplate. I think he looks pretty cool. The only thing I wish is they would have gave him slightly longer arms, because whenever you try to get it above his head, it barely goes above his head. And even when you hold his arms, like try to get him straight above, you know, it's just barely floating above his head. It still works. And I wish they would have just made it like, you know, just a slight change. But I do think he looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and get into a height comparison. Let me take this off. Try to lose his hand there. Get him standing straight up. Alright, so for our height comparison, we're bringing in 2 figures. We got Mecha Frieza, which if you haven't seen the review on that one, I would suggest checking it out. A lot of people seem to miss that one. It's got about 50 views. We got Mecha Frieza, which I thought was appropriate because I believe this is what Krillin is wearing whenever he lands on Earth. So Frieza is a bit taller. I mean, obviously, if he goes into his second form, he'd be a lot taller, but... And then, of course, our new one we just did the review on, our Jiren. You can see the Jiren is just monstrous over both him and Frieza. So I feel like they did a pretty good job with scaling. I mean, I think Krillin is a little bit taller in the anime than what this figure gave him credit for. Like, not much, but I feel like he's probably at least the same height as, like, Mecha Frieza there. And then Jiren, who he did face off. He didn't face Krillin in the Tournament of Power, but it would have been cool to see them interact a bit. But yeah, overall, guys, I would say this figure is it's not necessarily a must-have, but it's definitely if you want, you know, if you want a Krillin in your set. He does have a lot of unique uses. Like I said, comes with the bag of senzu beans, so you can recreate where him and Trunks are passing out the senzu beans to everybody. And he did, I think it wasn't just filler, but he did fight First Form Cell, so you could try to recreate that battle with this figure if you want it. But I'm pretty sure that was filler, where he did him on the plane. You can have him with the bag of senzu beans and then throwing them at people. Like he does in the Abridged series, Senzu Bean! And he's, you know, throwing them at all the characters. That'd be really cool. Or if you have the Android 18, you know, he pairs well with Android 18. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Let me know what you think of this figure. Like I said, it's not a must-have, but it's a really cool addition to your collection. And stick around for the end if you want to see some more posing. This is Gaming Remastered checking out.